Well, hello, folks. What are we doing today? Well, something a bit different. Couple of weeks ago, a nice gentleman emailed me and said, "It's getting cold in your shed nights, Adam. Can I send you a diesel heater?" I'm like, "You can indeed, sir. I'll have a diesel heater for the shed." He says, "Just unbox it and show us it working and go through some of the key points and see how you get on." I said, "All right, we'll do that." So, heater has arrived. And yes, coat is on. Haven't got the hat with the flaps today, but it's over there in emergencies. So yes, it's getting cold. A heater will be good in this shed. So without any further ado, let's unbox this H-Calorie heater and see what it's all about. Back in a minute. So guys, don't go anywhere. This will be an interesting video, because I've never had this thing out of the box. I was meant to do the video on it last week and just ran out of time. So let's get that tape broke and see exactly what's in here. Well, we have some packaging. We have manuals. There we go. Looks like plenty of manuals. Is there a good English section? I don't know. It seems to. Yes, I think we've got quite a few good pages in English here. There you go. Diesel heaters. From my experience of... What's this in the top there? There's like a window in the top. This is different. See, we've got like a window in here and I can't see what it is. Let's get the thing out and on the bench and see what that's all about. How easy is it going to come out here? Oh, not bad at all. It is very well packaged. Tin. It actually feels really good quality. Let's get this up on the bench. It's got a nice little bit of weight to it without being over the top. So, it's up on the bench. And yeah, it actually looks quite a nice thing. I have a diesel heater in the van, but it's totally different to this. Mine's a slimmer, longer one. This one's actually got carry handles because they advertise this as a car parking heater. I like how we've got a filter in the diesel cap. That's nice. Keep any crap from going in. Quite intrigued as to what's under this window. Ah, right, okay. Right. I did read about this. Now, apparently, this is a wireless control and thermostat. So this thing, little inlet there, you put this thing somewhere in the room and that actually monitors the temperature of the room and you can program it so this will get the room up to that temperature, then cut out. Very good indeed. Don't know whether this comes with a battery or do we have to charge it? Input 5 volts. Is this chargeable or is it wireless? We'll find that out, won't we? And what we got here? In here, whoops. There's our... Ooh, this actually feels a lot better. The diesel heater I've got in the camper van, the control panel, the buttons don't feel nowhere near as nice as this. This got nice feeling buttons. So yes, I think we can leave that tucked in actually. Take the little piece out. Oh, I see, and you can see what's going on through there. Right, no, it is rechargeable. There's a power switch. You flip the power switch and the little remote does come on. There we go. This is most excellent. So yes, this acts as a thermostat, which is good. So you can select your temperature range, I'm sure. There's also an upgrade on this where you get a 3-minute heat cycle. So this will go from cold to full power in about 3 minutes. And I believe it's an extra fuel efficient one as well. So we put 7.5 litres of diesel in here and it should run 65 hours on this tank of diesel. 65 hours, guys. That's quite good, isn't it? So yes, Also, I believe they said they've upgraded the fuel pump on this, because normally, like the one in my camper, it's click, 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 and that can get quite annoying listening to a fuel pump pulse. Apparently, this has got quite a fuel pump in it. I think we need to set this up and have a look, but we need to go through another box of goodies that come with it. So, we have another box of goodies. What came in it? Oh, okay, so there is a vent, so you can hardwire this thing permanent, or you can have it portable. I think the idea is, instead of having this in your camper, car, tent, whatever, you can sit it outside and just run this ducting. Oh, what was in here? Okay, there's wiring harnesses and exhausts. So I think the idea is you can basically, for the look of it, plug that into mains. That look like mains. No, that look like that's a battery cable, isn't it? So you can connect this to a battery, use this wire here, whatever, and you can connect this to a power source, sit it outside and just run this ducting in your tent, camper van, so it's not going actually inside your vehicle. But this looks like it could be used if you did want to permanently put it in. Of course, this will obviously stretch out quite a bit. So yeah, we have the exhaust. Another bit of the exhaust. Oh yeah, they're a proper mountain. These are heavy, guys. Honestly, there ain't a lot Mickey Mouse about this thing. These brackets are really heavy. And I reckon they are too permanently mounted if you want to. We've already seen the power cables. We've got some little feet, I think. Yeah, there's 4 little feet with screws, your Jubilee clips. What's in here? What could possibly be in here? Ah, right, okay. If you want to run this on mains, there is actually a mains adapter. Branded as well with the H symbol, so it's their own one. It's not some generic thing what they've chucked in. That's interesting. Never seen a mains adapter with a diesel heater. But I am impressed with that. I think that's a very good idea. In fact, we will use that. We're not going to connect it to 12 volt. I think we're just going to use this damn thing on the mains. It'll work either way, won't it? It'll be just the same. Right, yeah, this will be the one that goes into the machine for 12 volt. Yeah, and this one is just, there you go, output 13 volts, 10 amps. So there you go. This will run the machine. Do we need these cables? Suppose we need to look at some instructions, don't we? I will put the cables in there for the minute. Let's get this contraption up on the bench and, yeah, see how we go. So looking at the underside of this thing, I am quite impressed. I think I'm going to put the feet on. They obviously screw in there. And I like how this sits flat and the exhaust don't have to go out the floor, so that it's not sticking underneath. Like normal diesel heaters, this actually comes out of the front of the unit. So yeah, this is actually quite portable. It can sit flat on the ground on these 4 little feet. Let me get these little feet on. So as simple as that, and the 4 little feet have gone on. I must say, this thing feels good quality. It don't feel flimsy. I do like the gauge on the back, so you've got a sight glass through your diesel tank and it gives you a percentage. That's clever. I do like that. All right. So we've got this old girl sitting here. Quite impressed with it, I must admit. I am impressed with it. It looks like I need to turn this around. And I don't know if it will turn round or whether it will not sit in there right. The wire appears to be coming out the wrong place, so this is the right way up when you're looking at it from the front. So it looks like it's got to sit in. Oh, yes, makes sense. There's your exhaust. So you wouldn't want this pointing towards you, the exhaust. So, yes, you'd be looking at this side so you can see your gauge. Right, let me have a quick look in the Book of Destructions and see the starting procedure of this. I'm assuming you fill it up with diesel, turn it on, and it'll self-prime. But I don't know. Let me have a quick read up. So, guys, I think first thing we're going to do, I have got the exhaust plumbed in the back. I have the power supply in, but it's not switched on yet. I think we need to get some diesel in here. I am using proper diesel here. I'm not going to be using heating oil or red diesel. This is normal white pump diesel that I got from the local garage. We'll stick a few litres of this in. I think I bought 5 litres here actually for the heater in the van. Alright, there's about a good we'll stick the whole 5 litres in, I think. There we go. That is 5 litres of diesel going in. Oh yes, I can see where we're getting a good way up the tank. There we go. We are up to just over 4. Excellent. Right. So far, wipe up any spills. Right, I think we are ready to fire this thing up. Right, the exhaust is not touching on anything. It's away from any plastic. It's away from the power supply. I think we can be turning this thing on at the wall. So let me turn him on at the wall. There we go. Ah, all right. Can you see that? Straight away, we appear. Straight away, we appear. Can you actually see that? I don't think you can you? Let's pop that. It's a bit of a reflection, guys. Oh, it's a nice bright display, actually. There we go. We have a nice bright display here. We have a bit of a reflection due to the light. But yeah, we got a nice bright display. I assume we just press and hold this for 2 seconds. It says press and hold power button. Will it work on the remote, or do we have to go around pairing this remote? So this is straight out of the box, guys. Can we press and hold this power button? We can. Okay, straight out of the box, the remote was paired. I like that. And this remote actually feels really good. Now, they say this doesn't have that annoying click, 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 click from the diesel pump. A slight click I'm going to expect because they've got to pulse their diaphragm pumps. Unless they've got a new design of pump that doesn't click, which would be really good. But I am expecting a small click. You're going to get that. I also noticed in the instruction book, it looks like this thing has a built-in carbon dioxide alarm. And that is very good. That is very, very good. So it says this thing heats up in about 3 minutes. Can we alter the temperature? Oh, look at that. Heat setting. All on the remote, straight out of the box, look. And this remote feels really good. It don't feel cheap. None of this heater feels cheap. I'll give them that. It doesn't feel like a cheap heater. This remote has really got a bit of weight to it. clearly rechargeable with USB-C as well, which I like. Right. I'm going to let this thing leave the camera rolling. Yeah, there is a slight click, but it's not as obnoxious as some diesel heaters that I know of. Especially the one in my van's very annoying. So yes, there is a click from the diesel pump, but these are diaphragm pumps in here. All these heaters have diaphragm pumps, a bit like the old SU fuel pumps they used to have in cars years ago. And they click. It's one of them things, they just click. It's unavoidable, but this one is, I must admit, very quiet. Alright, as you can see from our exhaust, we have no smoke from the exhaust, and I don't even have the silencer fitted. If the silencer was fitted, it would be a little bit quieter. We haven't even got the silencer fitted. Now, because this is its first ever run, it might take a couple of minutes. I do like how that display sits in there and then the little window covers it up. Oh, I've just heard ignition. There will be a bit of smoke because this is a brand new machine that hasn't been used before. This has never been run, so there's going to be a bit of residual. But it is up and running straight away. And I can honestly say, my other diesel heater I've got, that was a bugger to prime. You didn't just shove diesel in that. There was a certain procedure. This thing has actually oh, it is a lot quieter with the exhaust muffler on. I just put the exhaust silencer on this, much quieter. Well guys, we have good heat straight out of here. Honestly, this thing is pumping good heat straight away. And considering that's a brand new machine, there's very little smoke burnt off it. All right, let's leave that. It is now what? 10 to 1. Let's leave that and we'll come back in a couple of minutes and we'll get a temperature read. Right guys, this thing has been going 3 minutes. Let's have a look at the temperature. Let's get a temperature reading of the voice. So the voice, ambient temperature 14.2. Let's do another random piece to the shed wall. 16. The safe or the lathe body, that'll be nice and cold. 17, I think that's because the heat from that thing is blowing onto it. Let's check. All right. Here's the body of the heater. We're up to 15.3. Let's go on to, look at that. 3 minutes has been going. And that's pumping heat out 45 degrees. Look at that. 45 degrees, guys. And that is literally after 3 minutes. Oh, that is warm. And I can already feel the temperature in this entire shed going up. How hot is the exhaust? The exhaust is 70. That is marvellous. If you're wondering what the little bit of smoke coming up is, there's a little bit of smoke burning off the exhaust. I really wouldn't worry about that too much. Ah, the exhaust was touching on the bench. That's what it is, the exhaust is touching on the bench. So that's the only reason we've got a little bit of smoke there. But yeah, I am impressed with this thing. So there we go, guys. This thing is pretty much running quite hard, if I'm honest. We haven't exactly got it on low, and it isn't that obnoxiously loud, I'll be honest. Oh, the display lights up with the remote. Let's go down to heat setting 1. Not being funny, in my camper, I start the heater on number 3 and turn that down to number 1 after a couple of minutes, and that really does quieten it down. Let's see how this one does. I do like this display here a lot better. And if you just want to simply use this as a heater, you don't really have to touch any of them buttons. You can literally set it up on here, turn it on by holding the button, turn your temperature up and down. If that's all you want it to do, fair enough. But I believe in here there is timers and settings. There you go, now I've turned it down to number 1. That is really quietening down. And do you know, yes, now it's burning, you can't hear that fuel pump at all. I've just noticed that. That is really good. I have just noticed that on startup, yes, you could hear the fuel pump. But now that's running, you can't hear that pump. Much more can be said for the other diesel heater I've got. You can hear the pump when that's running. You know, it's obnoxiously loud. This, now it's running on the lowest heat setting, I cannot hear that pump clicking. This is a really good machine, actually. This is a really, really good machine. You know what someone ought to do? Someone ought to make one. Or these people, H Calorie, if you're watching, had you ever thought of making these a little bit bigger and putting a lithium battery in them so they don't need an external power supply? So all you've got to do is fill them with diesel and turn them on and get the battery to last as long as the tank of diesel. So you just charge it up before you go away and then you can use it. Had you thought of doing that? So you didn't have to mess around with 12 volt or external supply. Just put a lithium battery in here somewhere so the whole thing is self-sufficient. Do you know what I mean? Surprised no one's done that. But yes, I am impressed with this. It is really pulling some air in, even on low. This is really pulling some air in, and it is really pumping some air out. We have very, very good temperatures here. Look at that. 54 degrees. We have a 54 degree outlet. Ooh, she's warm. I'll tell you guys, that is heating this shed up. I got the door open on this shed, 20 per 10 this shed, non-insulated. And seriously, this has been going now 8 minutes and I can feel the heat in this shed. This would seriously, or will seriously, be a good shed heater. I think I'll make a little shelf somewhere up in here to put this on, and we'll use this as a shed heater because it is good. It is a good little thing. I am impressed with it. Yeah, this is so much better than the generic red diesel heater I have in the camper. This is leagues ahead of that. So I can just hear that fuel pump now, but barely. Barely. If this was outside, you certainly wouldn't hear it. I do like how this is on a... that plug, that wiring plug, that's an extension lead for this. So if you want this remotely somewhere, you can unplug it and you've got an extension. I like that. Another good function. They actually supply you with an extension lead. This is Bluetooth as well. say we got the 3-minute heat up on there. I do like how the remote also doubles as a thermostat, so we can go in here and we can set our desired temperature. This will monitor the room's temperature and adjust this accordingly to keep that temperature. I do like that. That's a good thing. And this remote, like I says, feels really good. Let's turn him off. Straight away, hold it for 2 seconds. Display has gone to off. It'll now do its cool down cycle. While it's doing its cool down cycle, mentioned the remote. And yes, this thing does heat up in 3 minutes. We were getting heat out of this thing in under 3 minutes. And that was from brand new, with it priming itself, everything. I am impressed with this. Like I say, 7.5 litre capacity in the fuel tank should give you 65 hours of runtime. I'm assuming that's at, you know, probably low heat, but low heat is quite enough, to be honest. And, you know, this thing's nearly shut down already. So much quicker than the other diesel heater at shutting down. This has got a really fast shutdown. It is now just idling itself down to blow the excess heat out of the heat exchanger. It does have the quiet fuel pump. I am impressed with that. If you would like one of these, I have a discount code for you. If you go to checkout by clicking the link, which I will put in the description, and when you get there, just put in your coupon Norfolk15 and you will get 15% off. So yes, do I think this is worth the purchase? Yes, guys, I do. I do think this is worth purchasing. I'll tell you, it has heated this shed up considerably to the point where I want to take my coat off. And I've even got the door open. So yes, this works extremely well. Much, much better quality than the diesel heater I have in the van, which is the little red ones, unbranded ones. But I suppose that's the old adage, you get what you pay for, don't you? You know, this is a nice machine. Very well made, very durable. Plastics. The casing is actually aluminium, I do believe. So yes, we've got a heavy, durable plastic ends. The covers are aluminium. I like how we got the extension for the display. That's very good. I like to think performance, and I like how fast it heats up. It really does heat up fast. Yeah, I am impressed. And the carry handles, very comfy. So I can't see any problems with carrying that thing about if you wanted to. But you could stick it in the boot of a car. I can't see why you couldn't put a cigarette lighter end on it. As long as you had a good enough supply to your cigarette lighter, you could run it on a cigarette lighter. Put crocodile clips on it, straight on a slave battery. You know, yeah, this thing would work as a portable heater very well. It's neat, it's tidy. I like it. I do like it, guys. So, about all we can say, really. It came very well packaged in a very sturdy, good box. I think it's now about to go completely off. Yep, there's not a lot of heat coming out of the exhaust now, so I think she's just about finished her shutdown cycle. I am impressed with it, guys. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe. It isn't very often I do reviews, guys. I get sent quite a bit of stuff to review. A lot of it doesn't even make the channel because either basically it's rubbish or, you know, it's just people want to send me stuff that really aren't in keeping with the channel. But I am more than happy to include this and give this my endorsement. So if you are after a diesel heater, not being funny, you could use this in your damned house. As long as you had that exhaust venting outside, you could use this as a room heater in a house. And it would be extremely, extremely efficient. 7.5 litres. No doubt this should run on heating oil, probably. 7.5 litres of heating oil will cost you about £3.50. And if that'll run 65 hours continuous, that's best part of a week if you only got it on 4 or 5 hours a day. You can't grumble at that. I think this would make an extremely good room heater. As long as you have that exhaust outside, obviously, put that exhaust outside, because that's, that's exhaust gas. Yep, this thing's totally shut down now. So yes, thank you very much, H. Calorie, for sending me this toolbox heater. I will add a picture of all the specs and details. I will add a link in the description. You can go over, check these out. All the technical details will be in there. I'm not going to bore you with them, but I've gone through the key details. And yes, I do like it's got a built-in CO2 alarm. That is a really good thing. I do like that. I do like the quality of the remote. I like the quality of the whole thing, to be honest. There's no sharp edges. It doesn't feel cheap and nasty. It has does have a premium feel to it, which I like. So yes, thank you very much, guys. And we'll see you next time. Yeah, that's quite a good beast. I like it.